In the headlines, fire consumes 6 heavy vehicles in Ogun State. Torrential rain submerged National Assembly. Votes counting begins in Ethiopia after parliamentary election. Hello, I am Husseina Usman and here is Trust TV News Update. Several petroleum tankers were burnt at Ogere along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State Tuesday morning. The cause is not yet known, but firefighters rushed to the scene to put out the raging fire. Vehicular movement is chaotic as officials of Federal Road Safety Commission divert motorists to safer routes to reconnect to the highway. Federal Road Safety Sector Commander in Ogun State, Ahmed Umar, speaks to Trust TV on the situation.
We are diverting all the traffic to one lane, and it's moving, and we are managing it effectively. And at the same time, the synergy between all other agencies is excellent. The fire service are here, they quench, they cool down while we remove the vehicles. So we have a total of 13 vehicles involved, 6 tankers, 5 trucks, and 2 cars. And 2 people got burnt, killed and burnt beyond recognition. We have just evacuated the corpses now for burial, along with the community leaders. And then there is also a vehicle involved loaded with fish, frozen fish, So everything is being managed. The explosion was caused by fire outbreak. The vehicles along the axis in the early hours of the morning was because of an obstruction up ahead. There was a truck that fell down last night, and that truck obstructed part of the route, which caused slow movement of vehicle along the axis. As a result of that, a tanker loaded with petrol lost brake and hit another vehicle ahead of it, which sparked off the fire. And these articulated vehicles, they are fond of moving very early in the morning. So there was a line over these tankers, about 6 of them, and they caught fire. Though we have one tanker that is intact, the petrol is still very intact, and we are going to transload it maybe very early tomorrow in the morning. But at the same time, we are still with the fire service here in case of any emergency. We have opened the barriers. We are managing all the traffic flow on one lane now. And the other vehicles, the carcasses of the burnt vehicles, we are now trying to remove them. We have removed one, now remain 4 vehicles. We are here waiting with the management of the RCC and the construction companies. We are here with them because we have to also consider the road itself. The portion of the road has been severely burnt, and most of these vehicles also, if we say we are going to so we are putting so many things into consideration.
In the same vein, Federal Road Safety Corps Public Education Officer BC Kazim says drivers of articulated vehicles are not adhering to safety measures while on the highway.
Just this morning on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, we had a multiple crash of about 13 vehicles burnt, with about 6 of them being tankers and another 5 being trucks. So it's becoming a dilemma, it's becoming a national phenomenon. Issue of safety valve. In developed countries, tankers do fall, but you don't witness mostly spillage because every tanker has what is known as safety valve. We want to get to a situation where at all tank farms, it will become an offense for you not to have that sealant. They will not even allow you to load, or you will not even be able to come out. We are looking at fleet renewal through the assistance of the federal government and probably public-spirited companies.
Torrential rains on Tuesday submerged the lobby of National Assembly complex in Abuja. Cleaners and other workers were quickly mobilized to mop the waters to make the lobby accessible. The National Assembly raised its 2020 budget from 125 billion naira to 128 billion naira. 37 billion naira was earmarked for renovation of the National Assembly complex. A civil society activist and director watching the budget group, Safiyanu Bichi, speaks to Trust TV on the development.
We as civil society, we have been agitating for fair distribution of resources in this country. Because even at a time when they were budgeted about 3 billion naira, that was in the last 2 years' budget, we were able to now tell the government that why spending such amount of money in the National Assembly? After all, the National Assembly itself, it can, it's not in bad shape. And secondly, that amount of money will renovate thousands of schools that we have dilapidated schools, dilapidated hospitals, dilapidated roads. Now our roads have become distressed. Also, even our security system is porous to the extent that one of the main complaints that these soldiers are making is on non-availability of weapons or modern equipment for them to operate and clear the bandits. So indirectly, thank God, now the world and the general people will now see what we have been saying. That means the National Assembly, the money budgeted to them, in which it's compulsory they must be given. I believe they were given because it's a commission. The money was given to them, and unfortunately, look at what is happening. So, at least this will show that the money even allocated to them, independent of the zonal intervention projects, that is the consultancy project that nobody has access to it. They don't open it to be an open issue. People doesn't know what they are doing with the money. About billions of 100 billion of naira is allocated to them every year for zonal interventions. Even the money that is allocated for the renovation of the National Assembly, and look at what is happening this morning. The National Assembly happens to be one of the 3 arms of government that we have as legislators. And then they have other responsibilities apart from making policies. Also, even we as civil society, what we are doing, we are complementing what the National Assembly or our assembly is supposed to do. But because of the negligence, and also they are above the law, they are above everybody. So as if the environment is a no-go area, despite all the knockings, we have been knocking for the openings to actually know what is happening. At times, they even see civil society as enemies or people that are get crashing into their activities. After all, they are not doing what's supposed to be. So definitely, there is poor accountability, and also the transparency is not there in the National Assembly Service Commission.
The Senate on Tuesday confirmed the nomination of Major General Farouk Yahaya for appointment as Chief of Army Staff. The confirmation of Yahaya followed the presentation and consideration of the report of Joint Senate Committee on Defense and Army at plenary. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Defense, Senator Aliyu Wamako, presented the report. General Yahaya has been serving as Chief of Army Staff on acting capacity following the death of his predecessor, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, who died in a military plane crash in Kaduna. Coming up, court sentences ex-lawmaker. We'll be back after the break. Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
The Government Day Technical Secondary School sited in Jimtilo is one of 16 mega-sized schools built by Zulum's administration across Borno State. The school has 60 air-conditioned classrooms for a minimum of 2,400 students. It has 4 laboratories for ICT, physics, chemistry and agricultural science. It has 4 workshops for metalworks, building, woodwork and carpentry. It has staff quarters and an auditorium for 350 students. Commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari, this is part of the renewed focus on technical education in the 2 years of Professor Zulum as Governor of Borno.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabi da jeje.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Here's a recap of our major stories. Fire consumes 6 heavy vehicles in Ogun State. Torrential rain submerged National Assembly. Moving on to more stories, a coalition of women and civil society groups is compiling the names of Nigerians killed across the country to establish a database for victims of conflict and insecurity in the country. The project, #SecureOurLives, has so far verified names of 1,499 victims, which the group said will be made public. A federal high court in Abuja has sentenced former chairman, House of Representatives Adhoc Committee on Petroleum Subsidy, Farouk Lawang, to 7 years in prison. Lawang was found guilty of demanding $3 million from Femi Otedola to remove Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited from the list of oil companies allegedly involved in a fuel subsidy fraud in 2012. The ex-lawmaker arraigned on 7 counts of bribery by the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. On the foreign scene, votes counting has commenced in Ethiopian parliamentary election, even though results are not expected immediately. The election is taking place against the backdrop of war and famine in Tigray region and is the first under Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Africa's second most populous country went to the polls on Monday after a year's delay. The election was overshadowed by ethnic violence, logistic challenges, and opposition boycott in some regions. And in sports, Nigerian Super Eagles striker Emmanuel Dennis has signed for the newly promoted English side Watford. The striker is joining from Belgium side club Bruges for an undisclosed fee. Here's a kicker of a policeman complaining about the deplorable state of security and the economy.
Since we came to this operation in the Ogun State, since December, making it to do today in 7 months. No feeding, no allowance, nothing. Because of the 3,000 I'm collecting in Nigeria, the 3,000 as a target. I'm dying in Yobe here. Look at how they burn our things. Look at how many people have died. Nigeria, look into our problem. Nigeria, look into our problem. We are dying. No helper. What are we serving this country for? Why? Nothing. Hungry servicemen. God is there. Thank you.
And that wraps up the news update. Don't forget to follow us on our socials at Trust TV News. I am Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.